Ways that collaboration with educators can lead to the schools our students deserve. And finally, hope to share how we can focus our education efforts on an aspirational vision of what our schools could be, the most pressing needs as shared by these panelists here tonight. I also hope you get the message that we, as the members of the UEA, stand ready to work with the policymakers to accomplish these goals.
I would say without question, in the last several years, the amount of pressure that's being put on teachers has increased tremendously. It's no longer did you teach it, it's did your students pass it. That doesn't mean that they learned it, that they weren't learning it before, but the expectation now is it's your fault if they didn't pass the test. It's your fault if they didn't do good enough. And that is a tremendous amount of workload. I put in 12-hour days almost every single day. But the pressure, the mental pressure, has definitely increased.
The pressure is definitely not something that I anticipated. I went to Westminster College. I feel that my professors did a great job of preparing me, and yet they kind of skated over how much pressure teachers are under. And like I mentioned before, I had excellent mentors that really helped me to guide me through this. However, one of my mentors in particular that I think of, her health has been tremendously impacted by these tests. She is chronic migraines. She is ill constantly because she has so much anxiety over these tests and the scores and how they represent her. And yet she is one of the most excellent teachers that I have ever had the pleasure of working with. My kids are so excited to learn every day, and that surpasses everything I expected.
I came to teaching and I felt like I would be able to kind of be like, okay, I'll feel it, but in my classroom I'll do my own thing. And that wasn't it. Like, I feel it all the time and I don't feel safe. At the back of my mind, I'm like, that was a really great lesson, but is it gonna look like a good lesson later? And so I didn't expect that I feel haunted. I still worry about, like, 3 years ago I taught a bad lesson. Did I screw over the high school teachers? Like, are they getting bad test scores because I didn't teach it well 3 years ago? That does haunt me at night sometimes.
Yeah, I'm currently this year in my first year's role as a new teacher mentor. So one of the things I'm looking for is how can I best support our teachers and keep them in the classroom. And the thing from seeking their input throughout these last couple of weeks in preparation for tonight was we need to feel valued and supported. We need to make sure that no matter what kind of policies or practices or rules or whatever are taken care of, that we're heard. And so on that respect, thank you all so much for coming tonight. That makes a big difference. And from everything else that we're looking for, mentoring and leadership. So when we allow our senior teachers to mentor them and walk them through and share experiences, it does make a huge difference. So supporting any of those programs not only make our new teachers better, but provide them a goal for the future of their career to help keep them around. So you can later serve as a mentor. You can later be an education leader by staying in the classroom.
When I say what we really need is time. And what I mean by time is smaller class sizes would mean so much. And I'm not talking, cut our class sizes down to 15, but I'm talking give us the opportunity for us to really be able to look at our student work, because research shows what students need is explicit instruction. They need to write often, they need explicit feedback, and they need opportunities to revise. And so think for just a second. I have 180 students, and with those 180 students, if each essay in one batch of essay takes 10 minutes to grade, I'm looking at 1,800 minutes divided by 60 minutes. I'm looking at 30 hours of grading per essay. My seniors wrote 11 essays first quarter. My sophomores wrote 9. That's about 500 hours of grading. In order for our students to really grow and learn, they need that one-on-one time from us. And I'm so torn between grading papers, planning lessons, and meeting with students. It's so overwhelming. If we had a smaller student load, I think we could do so much more.
A school that successfully meets the needs of all students.
Okay, so in my dream world, it would be a community school model. And again, at Glendale, we have the elementary school, and then we have what we call the CLC, which is the Community Learning Center, and then Glendale Middle School. And so students have access from the minute they arrive in elementary. We have like an Instacare, so they have medical access. There's a kitchen where the moms come, and our community council we meet every other week. And it's such a community piece. The kids have a community garden there, and there's resources for our families. Well, we have 800 students, and we only have 2.5 counselors. And so we kind of have this whole community process, right, where everything kind of comes through. Medical services, all of those pieces are there for our families. So for me, the community piece is huge. And for our, we are assuming about 30% of our families are undocumented, which, as you know, currently is kind of scary for them right now, if you can imagine. And so to be able to have translators there and the sense of community for our parents, our mothers are amazing. Our Latina mothers, they show up and they do everything for us. And so to be able to have that safe space for our students and for the families, the community school model has been wonderful.
And I know that the community school model is one option under the Every Student Succeeds Act that is far more open and available now as an opportunity than it has been. So thank you for sharing that. That was a little plug, by the way.
Sandy, is we saw a 300% increase in student cases of anxiety and suicide tendencies. And this remains to be one big thing that is not being addressed. It's not being funded.
What period of time? 300% increase?
In the last 4 years. And so from that, we had to make a decision. I'm also on our community council. We had to make a tough decision. We have a lot of our science classes who have 45 and 47 students in them. And we had to weigh the option of, do we hire a half-time science teacher to help alleviate the classroom numbers, or do we hire a half-time social worker and mentor this way to help them with their social emotional learning issues? And as a council, we had to decide on hiring the counselor. And so that's one of those things we look at, and we had to go back to our teachers and say, no, we didn't reduce class sizes because we have other issues that are higher priority with more impact to the whole student body.
That our students, our classrooms, our schools, they're also unique. There is no one-size-fits-all solution for everybody. But all of our students deserve the best. They deserve high-quality curriculum and prepared teachers that are able to meet all of their needs.
I don't need another dime as far as my salary goes. I'm just going to put that out there right now. I don't want more money. I need you to know that I have human beings in my classroom. And most of them have gone through some kind of trauma. I care about my kids and their families and the space that we're in.
And let me just clarify that love Chelsea to pieces, love her heart, but her views on salaries do not reflect the position of Utah Education Association.
There's a disclaimer.
Just saying.
Chase is texting me from back. Sorry. If you think back to your favorite experiences in high school or junior high or elementary school, I doubt it somehow involved a bubble sheet. Probably didn't.